though, I have been posting my thoughts and my stance on this, but I haven't spoken directly because I don't know what to say.
But I've been shut out. You know, some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, you know, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang.
Massive backlash online after she publicly backed Diddy, and now Ice Cube is blasting her hard. He's dropping bombshell details, claiming Ellen, Oprah, and Diddy were all secretly coordinating behind the scenes to manipulate the truth and shape how people viewed what was actually going down.
I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that.
So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then No, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them. I'll listen to the music. I've heard that song, After Party.
Ice Cube isn't the type to bite his tongue, even when the industry attempts shutting him up. He's one of the rare ones bold enough to drop facts, regardless of who it rattles. And because of that stance, he's been straight up blackballed by Hollywood. According to Cube, he's witnessed firsthand how power, greed, and elite gatekeepers control everything, all shielding Diddy and letting him dodge his alleged crimes. Cube says he spotted this disaster brewing long before it exploded publicly.
You know what it is? It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their club.
Ellen Degeneres and her wife Portia de Rossi have reportedly fled the US, bound for the UK, after Donald Trump's landslide victory. Numerous publications are reporting the couple have left the United States permanently. There are also reports the couple have put their Montecito mansion on the market. Entertainment publication The Wrap has the exclusive story and said, Ellen DeGeneres and wife Portia de Rossi have moved to rural England, put their Montecito estate on the market, and plan to never return to the United States, telling friends the election of Donald Trump was their primary motivation. Ellen DeGeneres has been a vocal Trump critic, so the move doesn't come as a surprise to most.
He knew Ellen would eventually start spinning the narrative again, and he warned that calling her out along with her powerful inner circle would definitely bring serious consequences. Ellen and Diddy go way back, like decades back. She had him on her platform repeatedly, and according to her own statements, she knew exactly what type of wild activities went down at his infamous after-parties. This wasn't some throwaway joke or casual remark. Ellen knew precisely what she was saying. We just didn't catch the real meaning back then.
Ellen DeGeneres has been seen rocking a new hair color since moving to the UK. The comedian changed her signature blonde look to brunette as she was seen enjoying a night out with friends at a pub called The Farmer's Dog. Ellen went out with her wife, Portia de Rossi, and a few friends, including the Torn singer Natalie Imbruglia. Sources told TMZ earlier this week that Ellen and Portia moved to England because of Donald Trump's re-election. They have reportedly settled into their new home in the southwest region of England, but they purchased the property before the election.
We're learning more tonight about the tragic suicide of Stephen Twitch boss and the detailed steps he took to hide his plans. TMZ is reporting when Twitch left his home the day before his suicide, he took an Uber to a motel about a mile away. At the motel, he switched his phone to airplane mode so no one could reach him. The motel manager says he checked in under his own name and never left his room. We also now know that Twitch left a suicide note. Details have not been made public, but TMZ reports the note alluded to challenges Twitch had faced in the past. Entertainer Tyler Perry knows firsthand what that is like.
I want to take you back to a time in my life where I tried to commit suicide a couple of times because it was so dark. I thought the only way to make this better, this pain go away, is to end my life. Had any of those attempts happened, I would have missed the best part of my life.
Let's get to it. As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen Degeneres Show. I am Ellen Degeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear. We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
What's even wilder is that Diddy once asked if he could throw one of his parties at Ellen's actual house. Can you wrap your head around that? Now fast forward to today. Diddy's locked up behind bars, and suddenly Ellen's packing her bags and relocating to England. Is that just some random move? Or is she attempting to create distance before things get messy? Diddy's after-parties weren't just whispers, they were an open secret.
They're losing their minds.
She sounded so sincere, didn't she?
Very sincere.
Virtually choke on her words. But the best one for me is Ellen Degeneres, who is, by the way, a very nasty person. I've had dealings with her in Australia. Could I tell you some stories about that cow? But anyway, good riddance to her. But she was quite friendly with that P. Diddy bloke, wasn't she?
Well, this is why I say release the Diddy files.
Yeah. So,
files. Come on, Donald Trump. We want to know whose name.
So maybe she's hightailing out of there before all that is thrown at her as well. But what a bunch of hypocrites.
Been shut out. Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah,
on Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. I thought that was the goal.
Everyone in the industry knew what went down, and guess what? Ellen was a regular fixture in that crowd. People connected to the scene say Diddy trusted her so deeply that he even asked her to host one of his wild private gatherings. That kind of invitation doesn't get extended to just anyone. But here's where things get seriously suspicious. The second Diddy starts getting investigated, Ellen suddenly decides she's moving all the way to England. Come on now, that timing is way too convenient. It's hard not to suspect she's trying to slip away before more details start emerging. It's starting to appear like Ellen might have been terrified that Diddy would expose some serious secrets about her, like she wanted to vanish before things got ugly. Out of nowhere, she switched up her entire appearance and completely scrubbed her social media clean. That's not just a casual rebrand, that's someone attempting to go off the radar.
I met someone who changed my life and our show. And I'm talking about you, Twitch. Come here.
He was the in-house DJ until the series wrapped earlier this year.
When Diddy's trial first kicked off, Ellen was still appearing at his exclusive parties, surrounded by some of the most powerful and untouchable names on the planet. She knew exactly what was happening behind those locked doors, and if those rumored tapes of Diddy's ever surfaced publicly, Ellen knew she could be in massive trouble too. The secrets Ellen's been concealing go way beyond just being wild at a few parties. They run much darker.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been, you know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not.
Diddy. You're hearing Diddy everywhere, okay?
Yeah.
So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
Yeah, he's produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he, you know, gave us great music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really, kind of, you know, lost contact with him and really stopped, you know, dealing with Puffy around 94. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, you know, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, you know, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to a Diddy party. I ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. You know, that just ain't what I'm in it for. You know, you've been to one, you've been to them all.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you like you have no idea? It's none of my business. You'll live longer. So kind of like the mindset.
I mean, surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, you know, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, you know, somebody, you know, has the power to pull the trigger to make, you know, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
Not long after that, reports started flooding out from the set of The Ellen DeGeneres Show, and they painted a completely different picture of who she really was. Those stories exposed how her whole nice person image was nothing but performance. Behind the scenes, Ellen was reportedly controlling, cold, and straight up intimidating to the people working for her. It's the same kind of double life we witnessed with Diddy, smiling and charming when cameras were rolling, but totally different once nobody was watching. That fake friendly mask started cracking, revealing someone many say was almost impossible to be around. And guess who she kept close through it all? Her best friends and the ones who knew exactly what was really going on. Take a close look at the man standing behind Diddy and Ellen. That's where things take a chilling turn.
You're really bad. If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Same people who own the labels own the prisons.
Literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. The records that come out are really geared to push people towards that prison industry.
But they didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to make sure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Some records are made by committee. You meaning record company guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this. We're gonna have this guy write the lyrics. We're gonna have that. You have, the record company pushing the narrative. Some social engineering going on here.
That man was Stephen Twitch Boss, the beloved executive producer and DJ of The Ellen DeGeneres Show. He worked alongside Ellen for nearly 8 years, right up until the show wrapped in 2022. Then, on December 13th, 2022, tragedy struck. Stephen's sudden passing shocked everyone who knew him. At first, nobody could understand why he would take such a heartbreaking step. The whole entertainment world was stunned, but then reports surfaced about a note that was found, a note that allegedly mentioned Ellen by name. That revelation sent shockwaves through Hollywood, raising serious questions about what might have been happening behind closed doors. Allegedly, Ellen once took Twitch to one of Diddy's infamous parties after introducing him on her show, and that's where everything supposedly started spiraling.
Almost 40 years rocking the mic. You still killing the gun. And I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party, mother. You ain't gotta worry about on them tapes.
Hey, everybody. Everyone is in pain and trying to make sense of it, and we'll never make sense of it. And the holidays are hard, I think, anyway. But to honor Twitch, I think the best thing that we can do is to laugh and hug each other, and play games and dance and sing.
Whatever went down that night, Twitch ended up caught in something he was never prepared for, something way bigger than he realized. Later, a note reportedly found at Twitch's home revealed everything. In it, he told his wife Allison that he had been pressured into keeping quiet, and that some of the people closest to him, even Ellen herself, weren't who they appeared to be. That message shook fans to their core. Now people online are starting connecting the dots, and Ellen's name keeps appearing right alongside Diddy's, both surrounded by shocking losses and unsettling mysteries that have the internet demanding, what's really going on behind the scenes? Allegations started surfacing about the type of shady activities Ellen was involved in, and people claim it wasn't just about wild parties, but about protecting powerful figures tied to Diddy's world.
People feel like this whole new documentary is just a PR narrative once again being pushed by Diddy and his sons to try to clean up his image. And after hearing certain things on 50 Cent's Netflix documentary, we have to go back in time and remember what we were seeing during trial. Even when it came to Diddy's sons, Christian and Justin Combs, they both came on 2 separate occasions to trial wearing a free Sean Combs shirt. The first one to do this was Christian Combs during Jane's testimony, and you're not supposed to wear this stuff in front of a jury to try to sway their opinions. And the judge actually told him he had to leave and take it off. And then literally like a week later, Justin did the same exact thing. It was taken out of the courtroom by the judge. And we already saw the videos in the Netflix doc of Diddy talking to Justin saying he needed to push out certain content to control a narrative. During the trial, there were a lot of things going on that I could see that to me felt like it was just straight PR. Do you remember all of these people that were wearing the free Diddy shirts? And it was actually a meme coin that's on their shirt. It's money sign Diddy. And that meme coin was also made by Diddy's sons while this trial was happening.
Well, there's a new appeal from hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. His defense team is seeking his immediate release from federal prison, calling his 50-month sentence on charges of transportation for prostitution excessive. CB Cotton has the details live from our New York newsroom. Good to see you, CB.
Hey, Lydia. Well, once one of the most powerful names in hip-hop, Sean Diddy Combs is now behind bars at that federal facility in Fort Dix, New Jersey, but his legal team says he should have never been sent there for this long. So on Tuesday, in an 84-page filing, Combs' attorneys asked a New York federal appeals court to immediately release Combs and send the case back for a new sentencing or grant him an acquittal. In July, a jury found Combs guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution and acquitted him of the most serious charges, racketeering, conspiracy, and trafficking. In the fall, the judge then sentenced Combs to a little more than 4 years behind bars, citing testimony from former girlfriends who said they felt pressured to participate in fueled parties with male escorts called hotel nights or freak-offs. But the rapper's lawyers argue this sentence was punishment for crimes that the jury rejected. They wrote in the filing, quote, "He sits in prison today serving a 50-month sentence because the district judge acted as a 13th juror. The judge defied the jury's verdict and found Combs, quote, coerced, exploited, and forced his girlfriends to have sex and led a criminal conspiracy," end quote.
The whispers say she was part of a much bigger cover-up, and she wasn't alone. Some of the biggest and most influential names in Hollywood, including Oprah, were reportedly connected to the same circle, all working to shape the narrative the way they wanted it. Insiders claim that anyone who tried speaking out or pulling back the curtain on these so-called gatekeepers risked everything. The second you challenged them, your phone stopped ringing, the invites disappeared, and your career was finished. The unspoken rule in that world seemed clear: stay silent or get shut out forever. Ice Cube has opened up about this in detail, and what he revealed is seriously eye-opening. He said the moment he started calling out these so-called elites, his circle suddenly vanished. People who used to beg to work with him started ghosting him overnight.
Well, so we're going to be talking about a new docu-series here. First, there was Sean Combs' The Reckoning by 50 Cent, and that was on Netflix. Of course, it was one of the highest-rated docu-series in Netflix history, right? Very intense, about his rival hip-hop stars' fall from grace. And now the two sons of Sean Diddy Combs now coming out with their very own docu-series, telling the story from their point of view.
Procession of his children arriving in court for day one of their father's trafficking trial in New York. Hands gripped in solidarity.
Do you still believe your dad's innocent?
So this just dropped Sunday night on the video-on-demand service known as the Zeus Network, releasing the trailer for this project. Now, the series appears to shine the spotlight on Justin and Christian Combs as they follow the events surrounding their father's arrest back in 2024 and his subsequent federal trial this past summer. Now, that trial ended with a split verdict for Combs, with getting a 50-month prison sentence for prostitution-related charges after being acquitted on the most serious charges. Now, this new docuseries is slated to air sometime this year.
Oh, I'm telling 50 Cent. Now, you know they say Diddy's of a feather flock together. And if you haven't heard by now, Diddy's sons have a new documentary supposed to come out on Zeus Network. But that's the shady part. Zeus is shady. I'm going to tell you how and how this may backfire on everybody. And somebody else, Diddy Jr., who they calling the Timu Diddy, could be getting in trouble too. This is crazy. Ain't nobody else talking about it, but I will. Roll the clip. So the producer of Zeus putting out this piece that's supposed to make us all feel sorry for Diddy and his sons is Lemuel Plummer. Lemuel Plummer is what they call the Timu Diddy, or Diddy Jr. Now, word around the streets is not only is Diddy a silent partner in Zeus, put up money, but they believe that Lemuel Plummer, aka Lemmy, was giving girls to Diddy and supplying girls through his network for the freak-offs and all type of parties. And if you ask me, from the clips I seen, I would not be surprised if Diddy and Lemmy been diddling around. And check this, people have already been saying that Lemmy was, or Lemuel, was Diddy Jr. and was going to be caught up in his own allegations soon, way before this documentary even was talked about. Now, I'm going to show you a clip at the end of this video, and you tell me how close Diddy and Lemmy look. But also, know that, now this is Lemmy's IG. If you want to go over there and tell him what you think about the documentary, go on over there and share this post to tell everybody what's really going on. And if I know 50 Cent, he is probably going to wait for them to drop this little piece, and that is when he gonna drop part 2 and step on their whole thing.
It felt like the whole industry had silently agreed to freeze him out just to stop him from telling the truth. That kind of silence doesn't happen by accident. It looked planned from the top down. And remember what Diddy once said in his own speech. He claimed these elites control everything. Ice Cube learned that lesson the hard way. He started realizing that the messages being pushed by these powerful figures weren't about empowerment at all. They were about control. Names like Diddy, Oprah, Jay-Z, and even Ellen built their image around helping young people rise up. But according to Cube, it was all smoke and mirrors. Behind the scenes, they were twisting narratives and using influence to manipulate the very communities they claimed to uplift.
Overnight, lawyers for Sean Diddy Combs trying to stop the release of a Netflix docuseries due out today.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business.
The series contains never-before-seen footage of Combs debating strategy with his lawyers in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last year.
I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution.
It also includes video of Combs greeting fans in Harlem.
Off my back, bro. Long as you win. I'm gonna win. Long as you win, we win it. I'll accept it.
And then saying this about the interaction moments later.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like 150 hugs.
Now Combs' lawyers are demanding Netflix pull the series, threatening legal action, claiming Netflix is using stolen footage that was never authorized for release as part of what they call a shameful hit piece. The series is executive produced by Combs' longtime rival, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and director Alex Stapleton, who said, quote, "We obtained the footage legally and have the necessary rights," end quote. Before the cease and desist demand was sent yesterday, Stapleton and Jackson sat down with our Robin Roberts to discuss the series.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
It's not personal.
The show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. Not everyone.
The same powerful elites Ice Cube's been calling out are now being linked to Diddy's shocking downfall. One day, Diddy's sitting at the top of the world worth over $1 billion, untouchable in the industry. And the next, he's sitting behind bars facing over 100 pending cases. That kind of crash doesn't just happen overnight. It's what a full-scale takedown looks like when someone in power steps out of line and ticks off the wrong people. According to Ice Cube, this isn't new. Moves like this have been happening in hip-hop for decades. When the wrong person starts asking questions or challenging authority, suddenly they're surrounded by scandals, charges, or mysterious accusations. Cube says it doesn't take a genius to see the pattern. Now, Diddy's allegedly fighting back with the same strategy, trying to rewrite the story before it's too late. His sons are teaming up with one of his longtime friends to put together a tell-all documentary that shares his version of what went down. But with 50 Cent already exposing every piece of his past, Diddy knows that the only way he can rebuild any kind of future is by reshaping the narrative to make himself look like the victim. Now you've got to wonder, why would anyone still be willing to team up with Diddy on this so-called documentary? And more importantly, why would the owner of Zeus Network actually agree to take his side? This is where Diddy's old tricks allegedly start creeping back in. Word is, Diddy's got major leverage. People are saying he's blackmailing the Zeus owner and that he's got tapes that could ruin careers if they ever got out. That kind of power play sounds exactly like something out of Diddy's old playbook. He's desperate right now, doing everything he can to rebuild his image before it's too late. With his appeal in motion and his reputation hanging by a thread, Diddy's allegedly pulling every string he's got left to make himself look clean, even if it means dragging someone else down to do it. Dropping a documentary that nobody's going to watch clearly isn't cutting it for Diddy. He's going all in. Word is, he's now trying to get 50 Cent's explosive documentary completely taken down. His legal team actually filed a cease and desist, threatening to sue both 50 Cent and Netflix for over $1 billion. But here's the twist. 50's got the receipts. Every bit of footage he used was obtained legally, so Diddy's team might be in for a fight they can't win. It's becoming more and more obvious that speaking out in this industry always comes with a price. Anyone who dares to challenge the story the elites want told gets hit with backlash, lawsuits, or worse. Diddy's war with 50, the dueling documentaries, and the chaos that's followed show just how deep and controlled Hollywood's power game really is. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, share, and drop a comment with your thoughts. This story is only getting wilder. Stay tuned and catch you on the next one.